wouldn't happen. But we've got to do something different. Whether that means we've got to change the order around, re-look at one or two things. But I mean, both innings is 20 for 4, 25 for 4 for 5 in the first innings. You're not going to win test matches from those positions, so that's definitely something that we need to look at and try and we've got to change something. It's happened too much over the last 6 to 8 months. And whether that means you've got to change the order, look at one or two new options, we're possibly going to have to do that going forward.
Did you got any answer from Shanto about yesterday's run-out?
That's cricket. Sometimes when you're under pressure, you don't quite think clearly enough. Nobody gets run out on purpose. It's part of the game, unfortunately.
Coach, must be disappointing to lose a series to Sri Lanka, especially. Shaki said yesterday that it's not really a physical fitness issue, maybe a mental issue. Is there something that you're working on? Is there an area that you found out why they have collapsed a number? They're showing it on TV that they've collapsed a number of times the top first five wickets.
Look, end of the day, there are like so many positives to take out of it. We seem to be getting so close. We're getting into good positions. And then we have a bad session. So it's, as a coaching staff, for the players, I'm sure it's equally frustrating for them because they're doing a lot of good things, fighting back, but getting behind the game at certain stages. So like I said, there's a lot of positives. We're competing, we're in the game for 4 days, and then have a bad session and have such a bad session that there's no way back. Like I've said, we need to do something differently because it's happened too much over the last period of time. I'm supporting and backing players as much as I possibly can, but there comes a time where you need to do something differently because we're getting so close, we're getting into good positions. First test against Sri Lanka, they're 6 down, 98, they end up drawing. West Indies chase down 400, Pakistan we 188, 5 down, we lose 4 wickets. South Africa, we get into a good position, Rabi gets run out. So there's just so many small mistakes that get made at crucial stages that hopefully with experience will come, hopefully with a bit more confidence and belief will come, but to get that confidence you need to win some games.
So you said the last time you came that Mulu is not out of form but he's not getting runs. Shaki Wesley said that we should support the captain. He's just 1 innings over. Do you feel the captaincy is weighing on him because his average in the last year, this year actually, started off well but then 7 scores of singles?
No, absolutely. There's no doubt he's feeling the pressure, the expectation and the pressure that gets put on a captain, particularly in teams like Bangladesh in test match cricket where results haven't been good, not for the last year or two, but for the last 10, 15 years. That captain is always under scrutiny and there's no doubt no matter how tough and how brave you are, that it will weigh you down in time to come. So, look, he's a tough man, he's a fantastic player. Like I said, he's got Bangladesh's most test hundreds. I'm backing him to come good at some stage and he probably just needs this next week or so to just take a seat back and think fresh and just reassess where he is with his cricket at the moment.
Coach, how do you evaluate our pace's performance here? I mean, like, I'm not talking about the wickets, but they couldn't create any kind of trouble for the Sri Lanka batters, which is very much opposite to Sri Lanka.
Definitely. Look, end of the day, if you think of our attack today, and I mean, we won a test match in New Zealand. We had Shariful, Taskin, Eberdot and Miraj. And in this test match, we've only had Eberdot. So it's a totally new bowling attack in terms of what we've had in the previous test match that we won. And we didn't bowl as well as we should. There's no doubt, if you look at the stats, the number of balls that got scored between square leg or mid wicket and finally, I've never seen that many runs being scored there in my career as a coach. So bowled far too straight, far too many easy balls to score, and didn't bowl well enough in that first. I didn't think it was a 500 run wicket. If we could have kept him to our score or got a lead, we'd have been in a good position, but we didn't bowl well enough, particularly towards the end of day 2. I thought the first session we bowled there to them, we didn't bowl well enough. They got off 50 after 12 overs, we didn't put enough pressure. And those are the small swings that changes games.
Coach, there's talk about test culture. No one was talking about test
now and understanding that it's culture. The way I see it, the gap in experience between the two teams is not that much. I think these are relatively lesser experience still on the side, this side around, especially the bowling portion. But there were some gaps that here in the culture of getting that knowledge of the situation, understanding them. How do you see this?
Yeah, it's a good question, and there's no doubt the test experience might be similar, but I think if you look at some of the younger players who have played a lot more first-class cricket than what some of our players have played, so the test match experience is pretty similar, and it's a cultural shift, but that cultural shift will only take place once we start getting some good results. The desire and the want to play test match cricket will only come about when we win a big test series. And before this test series, I challenged the guys. I said, guys, have you ever won a test series against a top tier nation besides Zimbabwe? And the answer was no. They've never beaten any of the top sides. And until we do that, and I really thought we had an opportunity in this test match, so I thought the sides matched up evenly. We won the toss, started badly, got into a good position, but then just let it slip once again. So until we start winning those big series against big teams, not just one-off test matches, but series, the test culture is going to struggle to go to the next level. We need to start winning big series.
Where do you see the difference between an international level and our culture?
It's small things. It's the way capping ceremonies take place. It's the value that gets placed on, whether it's monetary or whether it's status gets placed on a test player versus a white ball player. It's the crowds that attend it. It's the media focus on it. There's no doubt there's a lot more focus on white ball cricket and from every aspect than there is in test match cricket, and it's a wholehearted refurbishment that needs to take place around the test match system. I think we're starting to get better in test match cricket. I really think we're starting to compete, but we need to now take it a step further.
Do you see the gap closing?
I do.
Well, the coach just saying a couple of questions ago that you have to now assess situations in different ways. So if I go back a few years ago, when Chandrika Hathura Singh was the coach, he took a different strategy against teams like Australia and England, which against Bangladesh managed to seize a couple of wins. So do you think we have to go back to that kind of strategy again, Ryan Turner pitches, a couple of more spinners, less pacers, and where batting goes difficult so that everybody can score less, but somehow the gap between the quality of the batsman closes down and it gives results favoring us in such conditions?
It might help you for a one-off test match, but it's not going to help your development of the test team in the long run. And I think, with all due respect to past test wins, I think those wins might have maybe hurt us going forward, because when we get on good pitches, and I'm a big advocate of playing on good pitches, we come second. If we feel we've got to doctor pitches and do this and do that, when we go away from home, we've got no chance. I think to develop the test culture and develop the players' performances, we've got to play on good pitches. This was a good pitch. Result on day 5, good pitch. Chittagong pitch maybe a bit too flat, but could have been a result in day 5.
But batsmen and bowlers, they're not delivering in fair ways.
Well, that's the reason they're not is because they're so used to playing on bad pitches. So we've got to be patient. I understand the frustration and I understand the negativity around it, but the more good pitches we play on, the better the cricket development will be in the long run. I know everybody wants to win. I know the quick fixes are playing a terrible pitch. Maybe they get 100, maybe we get 110, maybe they get 130, maybe we get 140 for 5. But the team's not going to get better that way. So I understand that those series was still 1-all. Didn't win the series. It was still 1-all. So it's a catch-22 situation.
Coach, you have always used to back your players. You know to back your players. We didn't see Yasir Ali. What made you play most of the overs, not playing Test cricket for the last 2 years?
Well, the reason most of that came in was because we needed somebody who could bowl as a fifth option. We thought he could bowl 15 overs a day of some off spin, because we've got 2 seam. I'm always reluctant to play with only 4 bowlers. It's hurt us, and it's probably hurt us here again that Mosrek probably wasn't able to bowl as well as we hoped he would bowl. So if you play Rabi in that 11, there you're batting number 8. You can't bat number 8 if you can't bowl. So that's the reason Mossa played, is because we felt that he can almost do Miraj's job with the ball. Miraj, big loss, because he bowls a lot of overs, bowls tight, picks up wickets and bats. So that's the reason.
Do you think that we lack a lot of off spinners, because we don't have any off spinners in our side apart from Miraj and Naik? That's
We've got a lot of one-day spinners. I mean, we even spoke about Mahedi, the T20 spinner. So there's a lot of part-time, they're batsmen who can bowl some part-timers, but at the moment there doesn't seem to be a standout off-spinner besides Naeem and Miraj. And once again, not having 5 quality bowlers, I suppose, has hurt us, because they should be getting 350, maximum 400 on that pitch today.
But why Momilal not bowling in the game?
He bowled 4 overs, but Momil's a part-timer. His job's to bat. He's bowled 4 overs. His bowling that's all he is. He's a part-time bowler.
Before West Indies, so what positive take do you take on that series? Because you will face more pressure.
No, absolutely. Look, we're hoping to get some of our fast bowlers back. Taskin, hopefully Hassan Mahmood, who's been out for a year, can get himself back. Hopefully Shariful can come back into the mix. But we've got to look for the positives, and the way, I know Mushfiq's not going, but the way he played, the way Litton's playing at the moment has been fantastic. Good to have Shaki back in the test team, hungry to do well. So we've got to look for those positives going forward. We know it's going to be a tough series, but we need to come. I really feel we're competing in test match cricket, and we're getting so close, but just not able to get through the door at the moment, which is very frustrating for everybody.
Russell, you're saying about the small mistakes repeatedly. Do you as a coach sometimes get to that point where you feel really helpless or get frustrated?
Absolutely. We feel very frustrated, but I know the players are trying their hardest. They're giving absolutely everything. 1 or 2 things didn't go for us. We missed the review. 1 or 2 tough decisions go against you. But you've got to stay positive. There's no use me going in there and shouting and screaming at everybody and telling them they're terrible. I've got to build their confidence and make sure that when we get to the West Indies, we get there in a frame of mind where we can compete and hopefully win some test matches.
Last 2 questions.
Coach, the batting corruption has been happening repeatedly for the past 2 months. The Bangladesh batters are suffering badly against this kind of wicket. So, what do you expect from like in 3 weeks' time we are playing test series in West Indies? So, what do you expect there?
Well, we know the wickets are going to do something. There's going to be a bit of pace. There's going to be a little bit of bounce. And the seamers are going to be very much in the game. We know they've got some quality seamers, Holder, Shannon Gabriel. They've got Kemar Roach. So we know they're going to be a handful. So we're expecting the wickets to offer the fast bowlers something. Hopefully our fast bowlers can come into the game as well.
What about the batters?
Yeah, the batters, like we went to New Zealand, we're going to have to prepare really well, be willing to leave balls, be really patient, and go back to old-fashioned test match batting, because at the moment, not working for us. Like I said, we need to look at maybe the batting order, but we need to do something different, because if we do the same thing, get the same result.
Last question.
Coach, we've seen different wicket from a typical mid-wicket. Is it planned from team?
A very good pitch. I thought good pitch to bat on. There's a fast bowler got 10 wickets in the game. Shakib got 5 wickets. There's no way we can complain about the wicket. And for me, those are the sort of wickets that you want to play on, where your skills got to improve. So I'm always one to try and play on good wickets. If you play on terrible wickets,
Good wickets in terms of batting?
And bowling, there was enough there for the bowlers. We were 20 for 5 day 1, then batted well. Day 5, wickets staying up and down, a little bit of spin, very good wicket.
What is our plan in second innings batting?
What is our plan? Well, the plan is night 15 overs to bat last night is to get through unscathed and try and bat as long as we can. That's the plan.
Last question.
Coach, you said you might shuffle the batting order to change the system of Test cricket. So, do you think Yasin Rabbi has the caliber to bat top of the order?
When you say top of the order, what number?
Number 3 or 4 or 5?
Well, look, he's come in at number 6 and 7 and done okay. And he's got a 50, a lot of starts. I see him at the moment as a guy still finding his way in Test match cricket. I definitely see him in the number 5, 6 role type of thing, somewhere around there. So Mushfiq's not there, so he'll definitely come into contention for the middle order there, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.